Well, we're lurking around today, heading up Long Shadows. We're in Upper Long Shadows now. We're gonna go and find Glen Jacobs from World Trail. So Glen was the mastermind behind this entire network here at, here at Derby, which is pretty cool, pretty insane to think of the vision he had 10 years ago. In April of 2025 this year, we'll mark the 10-year anniversary of Blue Derby, which is pretty sick. And Glen and his team from World Trail are here building a brand new track. So he's gonna give us a bit of a sneak peek of that. I'm gonna go and ask Glen some questions, hear his thoughts, hear about the new track, and go and check it out. Once we get through this climb. Look at this, freshy. The boys are working on this as we speak. A bit of a cheeky sneak peek, but this is brand new. Oh, little echidna. Oh, don't go under that one, little fella. Oh, not bad. Look at him go. Oh, 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 he's a cute little boy. That's pretty sick. Of course, there's an echidna on a classic Australiana trail like this. Oh my goodness. Look how fresh this is. You can tell the crew's been testing up a fresh tire marks. What do we got here? Yeah, boy! Yoo-hoo! Burp! Yard! Oh, sick! Here we go. Hey, mate. Glen, what do we got? It's a brand new one. This is a brand new Shimano trail here in Derby.
Yeah, this is the new the Trailborne program.
Sick.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good initiative by Shimano.
Right.
And look, we've kept this little ridge secret for 10 years, and it's just between Long Shadows climb.
Okay.
And Fliggity Sticks descent.
Yep.
And yeah, it's not going to be over until April. We're just like getting down the hill. It's quite nice. So, yeah.
This first little bit's already got a pretty mad little flow that's very typical of Derby. Perfect dirt. It's got the rocks. It's got the flow.
Yeah, we want to get something similar to between sort of Cuddles and Trouty and Kingswell.
Yeah, right.
Little boulders, bubbles everywhere.
Yep.
Sort of blended earth, nothing,
Yep.
it's all hand built. So
this is soft and fresh now,
very, yeah.
but it's going to rain. There's going to be thousands of people. Then what?
Rock hard. It'll be right.
She'll be right.
Perfect. Yeah.
It'll buff right out.
Yeah. Look, no, it'll be right. So we'll clean all the rocks, all the dirt. We'll wash away from the rocks that we
Yep.
put in place. You
Yep.
know, and it'll just gradually earn its own character.
Sick.
With tyres on it and go from there. You know,
Wow.
there's a bunch of hand built trails in Derby.
Yep.
You know, you've got Black Dragon and Detonate, and
Which is sick.
Shearpin, and
So sick.
Those ones, you know.
As scary as they are awesome.
And they get, the thing is, they get some character as they get older. They age like a good wine, but your skill has to be stepped up.
Totally.
Too, you know,
Yeah.
because a little bit of soil washes away here and there, but it's
Yep.
compartmentalised. You know, so everything's in a compartment. You know, so it's not just running down the hill; it's just little compartments.
Well, mate,
Hey,
first
hey,
taste.
mate.
First taste is impressive, that's for sure.
Well, let's go down and see the crew. They're just down the track there.
Righto.
Like 5 minutes and see them, and then you can be on your way.
So as we make our way down here, Glen was just saying what they do, they use borrow pits. So you can see they've got the electronic barrow here. Look at this dirt. Oh, stop it. Look at that. So borrow pits, and they borrow a bunch of dirt here. This is all hand built. Bring it up and lace in amongst the trail. Gives it that natural feel. Now this will all bed in, creates that Derby. Look at it. Look at the gold. Creates that Derby magic that we all know and love. This is like the Australian version of Roto with this magic dirt that you can't find anywhere else. Look at this, what do we got here?
Hey, something for you, Josh.
So this is what the trail starts as. So you've seen what we just come from up there. It's all golden, laced, unreal. And this is how they make their way down. Cutting through the trees, the lay of the land. Glen, or the boys, the crew, boys and girls, will tape this through. They'll have a bit of a rough guide. There's rocks, there's trees. Look at all this. This will all be laced together with ramps, dirt, gold. You can see the natural flow already. Which is a bit sick, isn't it, Buck? Yeah, very sick, mate, very sick.
All the moss grows back.
Gets carried away here.
Yeah, get excited,
What do we
don't
got?
you?
We all get excited. What is this thing?
Well, this is a section of the trail which is a massive generator, right?
Okay.
So as you can see, you pop off that down there through there,
Yep.
and you generate your speed, and then you kick up on another big rock boulder and slab, and then it goes down the other side, and it's quite some nice features. But most
And how
of
do
our
you find
trails,
that?
We go looking.
Right.
We go walking, we go walking. You know? Now, if normally you'd have to build that with a machine.
Totally.
So on this ridge, it's all rock. So we go and piece it out where the rock, what can we put here and there, what is the rock doing naturally,
right? And
what can you place in there? Because we want to build with nature, not against it.
And this is as natural as you can get. I mean, you can see the line you're cutting through here, and there's nothing except raw bush.
Yeah.
What happens if you come across something, there's a ridge or a feature or another natural vert ramp here to generate speed? Do you adapt, or you got to stick to what you planned?
Well, we look at the corridor earlier on, so we know we identify them and draw by dots.
Okay.
You know, so we want to get to this one, and that's, you know, Maxie. Where's Max? There he is. Now you can he's from Wollongong, so he talks your language.
Perfect. My man.
So, you know, Max, Reese Atkinson and I, we all walked down here and had a look and just worked out where the best alignment is, and you know, you say, oh, can we go there, and we can go there. You look about 3 or 4 different places, you know, and then you pick the best one for the speed. Predictability is the next thing, is what speed are you going to be carrying, you know, how fast you're going to be coming through here, what's the momentum like, and everything like that. And like we found out years ago with the style of trails, we have a lot of generators in our trails. So the best way to explain a generator is a half pipe. So when you look at a half pipe, you start on top of a half pipe here on a bike or a skateboard, like that, you're dead stop. You're not moving, are you?
Not at all.
Right? And you drop in, you go like that, and kick up here, and you're at the same elevation.
Right.
So that kinetic energy, you pull it out and put it on a hill, tilt it down a hill, and do the exact same thing on a hill. Instead of just ripping down one speed and just braking all the time, you actually go faster by doing that.
By doing those little pumps and generators.
So you've got generators down the whole hill, and then you lift up a little bit. And when you do lift up, you actually taking a little bit of speed off, so there's no abrasion on the trail.
Right.
So they're all the secrets, and we've got a whole list of them.
See,
you know, so
look at you. See, he's not just a pretty face. You're not just digging and making holes everywhere.
It's good fun. Yeah.
Max, you've been working hard at this.
We all have. Yeah.
And what's your flavour? What's your flavour? There's a bit going on here.
Yeah, she's pretty busy.
Yeah.
We just want to hit as much rock as we can.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, more rock.
More rock the better. Like, you know, bubbles and, you know, all the slab we can make, you know, tilting the little bits here and there to link it all together.
And it's one thing to work with dirt, but another thing to work with rock. How do you make the rock rideable with this gold dirt that's hidden in the hills here, or have you got to place it?
We patch up a little bit because you can't get all the gaps, and we're not really gonna be out here with chisels and making them all real smooth like masonry style. But we luckily this granite does crush down quite nice to like kind of fine sand that's very weatherproof.
Which helps you pack it in together and more like a jigsaw puzzle.
And just sort of blends it, the harsh edges.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is, you know, we're pretty lucky. A lot of it is very sheety plate rock, which is quite nice.
Sheety, sheets, not sheety.
Not shitty.
No, shitty, sheety.
And the other good thing is when we need some soil in between, where there's a thing, you know, you have a borrow pit.
Right.
And that's where Milli comes in. Milli specialises in that. She's been digging borrow pits along the way and getting some good soil out, eh?
The borrow pits are cool, eh? Because they're a bunch of golden dirt. How did you know there was a bunch? How do you know where there's the golden dirt or not?
Oh, you kind of scratch around a bit.
Yeah.
Try and avoid big trees.
Okay.
Sometimes like near like little boulders and like the blade grass. If you rip the blade grass up, there's probably going to be some good dirt under there.
So you're not just scratching around willy-nilly, you're actually got a bit of a science behind it?
Yeah, well, pretty much everything along this ridge is going to be slab, so if you just go off it to the side, there'll likely be dirt.
Sick. Yeah, well, the dirt's incredible at the minute. Pretty wild to see this go from this to a brand new golden trail. So this is the 10th anniversary track. It's been a long time in Derby. So in a few short weeks here, by the 10th anniversary, this will be a golden run, just like we saw from the top there, all the way down. Notice coming up that climb before, you've got so many different options and it all flows well. Like, how do you gauge that? How do you know that? You've obviously done a trail or two in your time and you've picked this entire place apart, but how do you know what those little triggers are to get the flow going uphill, get the flow downhill? Is there a calculation for that, or is it by feel?
Mathematical there is, but we haven't come across it, but we know exactly what trajectory and predictability.
Yep.
The best way to explain it is you imagine if you get an arrow and just shoot it in the air, and it'll have an arc like that.
Yep.
But then you just tilt it on its side, and you'll go, this is where we need to go. That
Right.
way. So you get that constant sort of arc to arc.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, even if it's a radius downhill, it's still got arc to arc.
Still got an arc in it.
Yeah. So you still got that flow. You don't want anything sort of stalling and then, going another way.
Totally.
You sort of keep that kinetic energy.
Yeah.
That momentum.
Yep.
So whatever you paid for, whatever you've generated in speed, you want to keep it.
Totally.
We want to make sure that you maintain that speed all the way through, so it carries from one section to another.
Yep.
So when you're looking through the forest, and that's like, Max when he's out in the front in the machine looking at stuff.
Yep.
You've got a big corridor to go through.
Yeah.
Coming up, looking backwards and going, I think I'm going to be doing 33 kilometres an hour here.
Totally.
And then looking into that and going, how am I going to sort of extrapolate that out and put it through there? So, but you do,
Yeah, and that's the vision, going down through there.
Trajectory is the main one.
Okay.
You've got to get the trajectory right, and which is predictability. And
Yeah, of course. Over the years of Derby, 10 years ago, it's crazy to think that it's been 10 years of Blue Derby.
Yeah.
You've done some tracks all around the world, from the very first trail to a trail like this that's brand new. What is the thing that's made you most excited about doing something like this again, when it's hard?
Yeah.
It's another effort, but what's the thing that makes you so excited about coming up and finding that golden dirt and that flow and the arc and the stoke of Derby?
Like it's all different. So
Yeah.
You look at every trail in Derby and they are slightly different. Each trail is different. So that's what we get excited about. Like this is not a massive big ridge,
Yep.
a boulder ridge, granite ridge. It's a little bit smaller, so the dynamics are a little bit different.
Yeah.
So we know that the lead drop-offs are a little bit bigger in places, and a little bit less than others. So we get excited with that. How the terrain changes, and you build to the terrain.
Yep.
That's the biggest secret. You look at anywhere in the world. You can't build exactly this same track in another part of the world. It's just how the environment talks to you, and how you determine what the trail's going to be. In a different type of environment. Because you're looking also with outside eyes.
Yeah.
When you're going into some place you've never been before.
Yeah.
And you're going, okay, this is what we can do here. Wonder what we could do here. But
Sick.
Derby's always, Derby was benchmark.
Yeah.
Everything we learned over the years and everything, but to put everything in place in Derby, because the soil's fantastic.
Unreal.
The granite is, if anybody's ridden here in the wet, you can carve on the granite stone.
Yeah.
Off Canberra, still grips.
Yep.
So everything's pretty. It's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
And it's right in the middle of town. You just roll into town.
Totally. There's a vibe. There's a massive vibe.
It's fantastic.
You've evolved this place too, from the gnarly and the steep, and you've got a jump track, but you're catering now to the greens and blues and the, increasing that rider ability. How have you found that, adaptation to blend those two, where a trail like this can be ridden by a beginner to an intermediate, yet it can be ridden like a pro and all those guys? How do you deal with that kind of blend?
Well, that comes down to design. The main thing is most of the thing is that with our trails, the faster you go, the harder it's going to get.
Right, classic.
So the dynamics change. Corner's going to get tighter.
Yep.
Drop's going to get bigger, or you're going to carry further and stuff like that.
Yep.
But look, the whole I think COVID did it. More and more people are riding, and when you break down the percentage, it's 15% green, 15% black, and 70% blue.
Whoa, no way.
That's the market.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So, but it's not just one trail amongst that too. You've got wilderness, you've got airflow, you've got gravity.
Spicy blue, chill blue, smooth blue. Yeah.
So, but you have to have all that, But we're noticing more and more families and more and more pros and more, so more of everything.
Yeah.
And you just got to put in that in place, because it is growing and it's at a really fast rate. And
Really
we've never
fast.
seen anything like it.
Yeah, really? Is that right?
Yeah,
That's
never seen it.
2025?
Yeah.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Like
In that
the industry-
market?
Yeah, the industry's really strong.
Yeah.
Maybe different in bike shops. There was a bit of a hiccup globally.
Yep.
But people riding, it's really powerful. Probably the biggest thing that we've noticed is that mountain biking as a activity is the first activity in the world where it draws the whole family out of the house.
Right. Yeah.
To go and do
Something.
an activity, right? Together. But then you can split when you're out on the trails. Different groups can,
You can jump this, corner this, roll that.
People can do different things, and they go with different groups and all that type of stuff. But it is as a family group, you're coming out of the house and doing the activity together, and separating on the trails with different groups. So there's not many activities where you can actually ride from the house, or you can't snowboard unless you're living in. You can snowboard from the house, but actually living, you can just get on your bike and go.
Yep.
and there's no activity like it in the world. And that's what's happening is, you know, the old, you know, people say, oh, you know, get the kids away from Xbox, or, you know, mum's not, you know, she's bored, or dad's always working in the shed or something like that. Family of mountain bikers, you know, it's happening now. And that's what we're noticing anyway.
Yeah.
More and more people, more and more families going out and doing stuff.
That's it. All thanks to Glenn.
Yeah.
Huh? And his World Trail crew. Yeah, fam.
Good times.